everyone, Rich Gasaway here. A few weeks back I announced I was looking for a department or an association to partner with me to host a situational awareness event on September 26th, which is National Situational Awareness Day. The response I had was overwhelming, so much so that I have now changed the focus of the celebration to National Situational Awareness Month. My new bodacious goal is to train 3,000 first responders in 30 days. Well, it's only 100 a day, so it shouldn't be too hard, right? Well, at least if I get enough program hosts to step up. If you want to be part of the Situational Awareness Month celebration, go to SA Matters website and click on the Contact Us tab on the top of the homepage. Here's another way you can get great content without even hosting a live event. The Situational Awareness Matters Online Academy. The Academy teaches everything from situational awareness A to Z. There's almost 700 students enrolled in the Academy. Issues with situational awareness are consistently identified as contributing factors in near misses, injuries, and fatality reports. Please, don't wait until your agency has a catastrophic outcome. Seriously, I can help you take your understanding of situational awareness and high-risk decision-making to a whole new level. Visit samatters.com, click on the green button on the right side of the homepage labeled Online Academy. Okay, the premium enrolled students in the Academy, they get to participate in a monthly webinar where I have guests on to talk about important safety topics. Last month's guest was Assistant Chief Doug Klein from the Horry County Fire and Rescue Department in South Carolina, and Doug talked about training for safe operations. The next webinar is scheduled for May 10 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and features Chris Naum talking about building construction and the situational awareness connection. Premium enrolled students get a notification in the course room along with the login credentials and the link. Okay, that's enough pre-show stuff. Roll the podcast intro. Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
Hi, this is Fire Chief Gord Schreiner from Comox Fire Department, Vancouver Island, British Columbia, and you're listening to Dr. Rich Gasaway on SA Matters Radio. The SA Matters mission is simple. They want to help us see the bad things coming. It's time to avoid bad outcomes.
Hello, and welcome to episode 157 of the Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence environments. The SA Matters mission is simple: to help you see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes. This episode has been downloaded over 205,000 times. That blows me away. And it also makes this, the SA Matters radio podcast, officially the single longest consecutive running first responder safety focused podcast show on the internet. How cool is that? Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet to the show, go to iTunes, or if you have an Android device, Stitcher Radio, and search for SA Matters Radio. There's also a link to the podcast page right on the SA Matters website homepage. I have a very personal favor to ask of you. If you subscribe to the show, go to iTunes or Stitcher and give the show a rating and leave a review. I realize that most of you aren't listening to this show while you're sitting at your computer, which means you'd have to remember to do it later. Please, make a note, send yourself a text, and do it later. It would mean so much to me. I promise you'll make my day, my month, and my year. Last week, another big milestone was reached on this show when I released episode 156, and that marked the 3rd anniversary of this podcast show. I've released a new episode every Tuesday, never missed a week, for 3 consecutive years. And I do that for you, the listener. You inspire me to work harder. And I'm here for the long run. And for so long as I'm able, I will continue to share this message. A message of hope, a message of inspiration, and a message of encouragement for all first responders who want to make sure they're able to develop and maintain strong situational awareness and make quality, high-risk decisions. I'm dedicated to helping improve your safety and your survival and helping you to accomplish the most important goal of all, and that's to go home to the ones who love you. And speaking of sharing the message, I'm coming to you today from Penticton, British Columbia, where I'm in town to deliver 2 programs for the Penticton Fire Department and other fire departments in the region. Thank you to Assistant Chief Dennis Smith for your efforts to organize these awesome programs and for your amazing hospitality. One of the questions I get asked a lot by readers and listeners are, when are you coming to my area? I want to attend a program. Or where are you going to be next? Great questions, and the answers are really easy to find out. There's a link to the upcoming events on the homepage of SA Matters. Just click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Upcoming Events Schedule. I feel very blessed to have some really exciting presentation opportunities on the horizon, including the Fire Department Instructors Conference next week, the FDNY Incident Management Team Seminar coming up in May. I'm doing a program for the United States Navy, Fire Rescue International, the NASA Glenn Research Center, excuse me, and the Amsterdam Fire Brigade in the Netherlands. If you're interested in hosting a Situational Awareness Matters tour stop event in 2017 or 2018 for your department or your association or your region or your state or even your company, yep, our trainers even do programs for private industry, just contact me through samatters.com, click on the Contact Us tab, and we'll get something set up for you. I promise you it's not hard to do at all. In today's feature segment, the 7th podcast in this series, we once again explored dangerous mindsets. We're going to cover 9 of them in all, and today we're going to talk about the superhero. But to recap the 9 dangerous mindsets being covered in this series, in part 1 we talked about the starter, in part 2 we talked about the subordinate, in part 3 we talked about the specialist, part 4 we talked about the superior, part 5 we talked about the stubborn. Last week we talked about the silent, and today we're discussing the superhero mind. Remaining in the series is the slacker and the synergist. Let's jump into our feature segment on dangerous mindsets of the superhero. And stick around. When the feature segment's done, I'll tell you where you can attend an upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop event. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to be right in your state or right in your county. The superhero. You might think of this person as one who sees him or herself as unstoppable, as bulletproof, invulnerable, or invincible. The superhero can leap tall buildings in a single bound, is more powerful than a locomotive, can run faster than a speeding bullet. You get the idea. Superpowers and super abilities. The only problem is, simply because they think they can, doesn't mean that they really can. This is the heart of the dangerous mindset. How is it a person comes to think of him or herself as being invincible? For some, it may start early in their teenage years, as I was a victim of this mindset as well. When I was younger, I never gave 1 ounce of consideration to my vulnerabilities. I lived on the edge. The more dangerous things were, the more exciting they were for me. The excitement of doing dangerous things can be addicting, though. No, really, it can be. The chemicals that are released in the brain when you're under stress are very powerful. Two neurotransmitters in particular, endorphins and epinephrine, can be very addicting. Endorphins. The word endorphin is a hybrid of two words, endogenous morphine. Yes, your brain produces morphine. Endorphins are produced in the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus. Many things can trigger the release of endorphins, and one of them is the stress that comes from doing dangerous things. Doing dangerous things, especially when you get away with them, can be exciting. A person who does dangerous things over and over again can unknowingly get addicted to that morphine dump. Epinephrine. Epinephrine is also known as adrenaline. Like endorphins, adrenaline is also a neurotransmitter. But unlike endorphins, adrenaline is not released in the brain. It is released by the adrenal glands, which sit on top of the kidneys. Adrenaline is also a stimulant. It helps the body prepare for the fight or flight response by stimulating muscles that will be needed to defend yourself or to run away from danger. So the stimulation created by adrenaline can also be addicting. The adrenaline junkie. The term adrenaline junkie has been used to characterize a person who favors high-risk activities because of the high they experience when they're under stress. Some marathon runners describe getting a runner's high when participating in a distance race that pushes their endurance to the limits. The stress on the body from running triggers the release of these neurotransmitters. Bulletproof confidence. In addition to the challenges that come from these neurotransmitters, a person who engages in high-risk activities that do not result in consequences can lead to a false sense of confidence that they are somehow immune to having bad outcomes. Why? Because they never have. They begin to see themselves as being gifted and talented, where in fact, all they're really being is lucky. And the luckier they are, the more their confidence raises. This false confidence can result in a very dangerous mindset. For even if they, on occasion, suffer a loss or a bad outcome, they can actually attribute the bad outcome to a short-term stroke of bad luck. You see what is happening here? They do not see their many successes as good luck. They see it as an occasional failure, as bad luck. The more good fortune they experience, the more bulletproof they feel. They've mentally transitioned from believing that they've been lucky, that they have a new skill set. They're confusing their luck for skill. Taking you down with them. When a person sees him or herself as bulletproof, it can be very difficult for them to see their own vulnerabilities. Chances are these people have had successful outcomes while engaging in high-risk, high-consequence activities. This can give them a sense of confidence, and it can cause them to judge, often harshly, others who engage in the same activities yet have bad outcomes. It may also cause them to denounce those who are not willing to take the same risks, and this can cause problems for responders. An overconfident person can fail to develop and maintain situational awareness because they let their guard down. Even if they see clues and cues that indicate bad things may be on the horizon, they can dismiss them as being unimportant. They may not even see the clues or cues at all. I've demonstrated this fact many, many times in my situational awareness programs. If your brain does not want to see something that exists, it won't see it. Conversely, if your brain wants to see something that does not exist, it will see it. The brain of an overly confident superhero, hyped up on endorphins and adrenaline, may not work the same as your brain or my brain. The consequences of a superhero mindset can be significant if this person has authority or influence over others. Their mindset may draw other responders into engaging in high-risk, high-consequence situations that they should not be in. If another person has formal authority over the superhero, the behavior may get halted, but sometimes it is not. This can occur because the supervisor may also, after repeated exposure to the superhero, come to believe their performance outcomes are based on skill and not on luck. Or the supervisor may be afraid to speak up, fearful the superhero will lash back at them or go on the offensive. The superhero dangerous mindset can build a level of confidence that results in the denial of vulnerability. The first step, as with any affliction, is acknowledgement the problem exists. One way to do this is to use a third-party example of how this dangerous mindset adversely impacted someone else. This is one of my favorite ways to help someone see their shortcomings without being so direct and personal. It starts with telling a story about someone the afflicted person does not know. The person in the story has the same qualities as the person you are telling the story to. The key is to never make a direct correlation. In other words, do not say something like, "This person has the same sense of invulnerability as you do." This will only serve to antagonize the superhero. The story plot line is strikingly similar to the situation that you are experiencing with your superhero. The discussion dances right up to the heart of the issue without being so direct. The connection to your real-life scenario is left inferred, sometimes asking the afflicted member for advice about how they would handle a situation if they had to deal with someone like that. For example, "Joe, what do you think I should tell my friend about how to manage through this problem?" and have the superhero offer some advice. It may even be helpful to make the scenario so different that the direct connection is not plausible. For example, if you're a firefighter, use a police example. If you're a police officer, use a military example. The important thing is to get this out on the table and to talk about it. The superhero mindset is not only dangerous for them, but it's dangerous for you as well. If you've witnessed or experienced a near miss and would like to have a platform to share your lessons learned with others, please contact me by visiting the samatters.com website and clicking on the Contact Us link on the top of the homepage. Think about it for a moment. The lessons learned from your near-miss events could save the life of another first responder. If you want to share your experiences, contact me. Okay, as I always do, I want to take a moment to thank the departments and organizations that have hosted some great situational awareness training events. I do this to show my appreciation to the organizations who put forth the effort to organize, advertise, and fund great training experiences for their members and others in their region. Recent tour stops included the Maryland Fire Rescue Institute National Fire Service Staff and Command Program in Towson, Maryland, the International Association of Fire Chiefs Company Officer Leadership Series in Blue Springs, Missouri, the Lancaster, Texas Fire Department, the Washington Hazmat Conference in Richland, Washington, the Oregon Fire Training Officers Association Conference in Medford, Oregon, and where I am now in Penticton, British Columbia. By the time this episode airs, I will have completed 2 programs and a banquet keynote for the Creston, British Columbia Fire Department. And thank you to Chief Mike Moore for buying a situational awareness book for each of your members. That was a class act. If you want to join me for an upcoming SA Matters Tour Stop event, April 24th, I'll be in Michigan City, Indiana. April 25th, the FDIC in Indianapolis, Indiana. May 2nd, the FDNY Incident Management Team Seminar. May 3rd, Orangeburg, New York. May 4th, Mamaroneck, New York. May 6th and 7th, in Toronto, Canada, for the Ontario Fire Chiefs Association Conference, followed by the Ontario Fire Training Officers Association Conference. May 16 in Hartford, Connecticut. May 17 to 25 at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in Kittery, Maine. And May 31 at the Colorado Springs Fire Department in Colorado Springs, Colorado. If you want to see all the upcoming locations of Situational Awareness Matters tour stops, head over to the SA Matters website, click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Upcoming Events Schedule. The schedule is always changing, so check back often. The last time I delivered situational awareness programs in southwest Minnesota, I stopped and visited the sponsor of this podcast show, Midwest Fire. Midwest Fire makes amazing all-poly-bodied fire apparatus, and it's changing the industry. You seriously need to check them out at MidwestFire.com, or check them out this coming week at FDIC in Indianapolis. Anyhow, while I was there, I had a chance to sit down and talk to some of their employees about what separates Midwest Fire from their competitors. So, Tyler, what differentiates the manufacturing process here at Midwest Fire as, say, compared to the competitors who build fire trucks as well? What makes you stand out in comparison?
You know, I don't really know exactly what kind of systems the other competitors have in place, but you know, the one thing that I really think that sets us apart that I've seen in the side of the manufacturing field is trying to implement and adhere to some different lean ideologies, and that being said, lean manufacturing really helps us deliver a better quality products more efficiently with less waste to the customer. And also on the other side of that, I think the team that we have here, our manufacturing team and all the people that we have, with the way we work together, the teamwork that we have, and everybody's positive attitude, and it may sound kind of cliche, but the can-do spirit that we have, I think, really helps us, separate ourselves from the competition.
But one of the things too that I noticed when we were touring around on the shop floor is, as I looked around, I didn't see hundreds of employees. This is not a company that employs hundreds of people. It's an employee it's a company that employs a small number of employees with a great deal of dedication, and obviously that lends some to this teamwork and this sense of family that is going on here that might actually be an asset compared to a large company where an employee just might be a number.
Exactly, most definitely, and that's something that we see is all of our employees are able to work together to build these trucks, because it's not something that they're just going to sit in their station and only do their work. If they see that somebody else needs help, they're going to go over there and help them do that, help them get ahead in their part of the process so that the product can keep flowing through the manufacturing floor.
Nice, thank you. So that's really example of what separates Midwest Fire on the manufacturing side from their competitors. So check them out at MidwestFire.com. Thank you to Midwest Fire President Sarah Atchison and all your staff for your awesome commitment to improving first responder safety. I sincerely appreciate your support of my mission. If you're not a member of the SA Matters community of learners yet, consider joining. There are over 5,000 members connected here on SA Matters, sharing ideas about how to improve situational awareness, how to make better decisions under stress, and how to train your members to be critical thinkers and resilient problem solvers. Membership is free, and when you sign up, I'll send you a special report I've created for new members called 25 Best Practices for Improving First Responder Safety. Joining also gets you my monthly newsletter that contains featured content from the blog and the podcast. It really is the best way for us to stay in contact with each other. If you're not a member yet, head over to SA Matters website, click on the red box on the right side of the homepage that says Free Membership. If you want to get connected with me on Twitter, you can follow @Rich Gasaway on Twitter. On LinkedIn, just search for Rich Gasaway. On YouTube, you can watch my videos on SA Matters TV YouTube channel. And on Facebook, you can follow the SA Matters page on Facebook. Well, that's it. Episode 157 is complete. Thank you to our awesome podcast sponsor, Midwest Fire. Thank you to all of our live event hosts. Thank you to our more than 700 online academy students. And thank you, our listeners, for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.